We'll begin our question and answer period. As we have said, the U.S. and Morocco share strategic and dynamic bilateral relationship. In the omnibus bill that we passed in January, Congress authorized that funds designated for Morocco could also be used in the Western Sahara for literacy training programs. The bill requested a report from the State Department on this issue, and the report is due next week. Can you describe what the report will entail and if it will be delivered on time? Then on the threat of fundamentalism in the area, the threat of radical Islam and extremism spreading through North Africa and indeed throughout the entire African continent is a very real threat and a cause for alarm. And that's why the United States has put such an emphasis on working with Morocco to counter these threats. How would you describe the cooperation with Morocco on counterterrorism front? Is it as good as it can be? Is it getting better, or are you satisfied with it? And to what extent are programs like the Trans-Sahara Counterterrorism Program working? What more needs to be done both on Morocco's side and the U.S. side to improve it? And as we discussed just last week, Secretary Kerry was in Rabat to take part in the second round of the U.S.-Morocco strategic dialogue. Can you briefly explain what came out of that latest round in the dialogue? What did we achieve? What did we accomplish? And what challenges still remain? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I'll start maybe in reverse order and work my way back up. The strategic dialogue was a big success. Secretary Kerry opened it. We had a strong team that came out from the State Department that participated in it. The purpose of this dialogue is to accentuate and highlight the strong strategic partnership we have with Morocco, and we focus on a range of areas, 3 working groups in particular: political security, economic and commercial cooperation, and education cultural cooperation. I think we made strong steps forward in all 3 of these groups. The political and security group, there was a robust discussion of Morocco's progress on domestic reforms, and also encouragement for Morocco's efforts on counterterrorism. The economic and commercial cooperation group discussed promoting regional economic integration, and also Morocco and the U.S. trade and investment relationship, and particularly trying to strengthen the benefits for Morocco of the U.S.-Morocco free trade agreement. On education and cultural cooperation, as I mentioned earlier, there was a discussion of the Chris Stevens Virtual Exchange Initiative, efforts to improve on interfaith dialogue and understanding, and discussion of various educational and cultural exchange programs we have with Morocco, including, for example, the Fulbright program. On the threat of fundamentalism and extremism in Morocco and in the region writ large, I share your concern, Madam Chairman. This is not a new phenomenon. It's something that has been developing in the region over the past decade, really. It has been fed in some ways in the past several years by developments in Mali, in the wider Sahel, and also in Libya, where there's been a deteriorating security situation in the past 2.5 years. We work very closely with Morocco on counterterrorism. I think that our partnership is quite strong. We have a number of programs or a number of vehicles that we use to fund these programs. Trans-Sahara Counterterrorism Partnership is one. We use funding through NADER as well as INL money it's focused primarily on strengthening Morocco's law enforcement and criminal justice system. It also provides training for law enforcement people who are involved in anti-terrorism efforts to strengthen their professionalism and strengthen their efforts with things like internet forensic investigation, the ability to do criminal investigations in general, and use these types of law enforcement tools as a means for combating terrorism.
Thank you very much, and I apologize, my time is up, but thank you very much. Mr. Deutsch is recognized.
Thank